Hello everyone. With this demonstration, I'm going to show you the procedure of submitting your PLAD. When you go to Live Text and click your PLAD option, you will need to go to and click the Begin Assignment button. And then this screen will display. You will click Begin Using Template, and that will take you to the home screen of the PLAD. This first page is simply the description of the PLAD, an explanation of exactly what you're supposed to do. The PLA handbook that we've used in the past that you've been able to download is here. So this is an informational screen. The first one that you're actually going to use to upload documents is the Specialization Credit Request. So I'm going to show you how to upload just one document for now. All the rest of them will be the same. So the reason for the PLAD is for a repository of all the files that you've worked on that regard your prior learning assessment. So the most important one, which you have developed, is your prior learning credit request worksheet. So you'll upload that to this section right here. So you will simply click the Edit button. And you'll notice there's already one file attachment there, and that is the template for the worksheet, which you have already filled out because that's what you're uploading. So what you're going to do is upload your worksheet now. So you would simply click File Attachment, come down here and click Upload File, come over here and select Choose File, and that simply takes you to your hard drive. In this case, this is where you're going to locate your Specialization Credit Request worksheet. I'm just going to select a file at random here just to show you how to do this. So I'll simply select a file. So you click it, you could double click it, or you could click it once and then click Choose. And you can see that it is uploading. So when it's complete, it will show up here. Obviously, you'll have your last name and then Specialization Credit Request. So make sure your last name is included in every file that you upload. So you see that there's now two documents, the original template and your template your completed worksheet that you would upload. So it doesn't take effect until you click Save and Finish. So now what you will see is the original template, and then the file that I just uploaded. In your case, it will be the Specialization Credit Request worksheet. And all the rest are done the exact same way. So the letter to the PLA Review Committee, you would upload here by clicking Edit. And the rest of this is an explanation of the credit request with the different with the different course numbers and the exact same information that we've talked about on how to request prior learning credit in the two categories. So this is the first tab that you have to complete. Now we'll go to the next tab. You remember those self-assessments that you produced? One is for the program self-assessment, and one is for the ELFH 300 class itself. So you would simply click Edit, and you would click File Attachment, but here's where you would do it twice. You would select the two files at different times in order to upload. So this is where you would upload both of your self-assessments that you completed. You remember now the BSOLL program self-assessment, you want to make sure that you keep, because you're going to use that and you're going to need that when you take ELFH 540 towards the end of your degree program. Your hat paper that you have been graded on, that's actually in live text, you will actually upload it here also, so you'll have it as a part of your PLAD. So those are the self-assessments and the hat. All of your ONET reports that are actually links that you had in your hat paper, all of these needed to be printed as a PDF file and uploaded here. So you'll need to upload all of those PDFs that refer to any job that you've had that you're referring to. Those ONET reports need to be uploaded here. So if you've used a job, if you've referred to ONET for any type of documentation, that ONET report for that job needs to be uploaded here. So you'll probably have a number of uploads here for your ONET reports. You have the prior education advising material here. Remember your degree audit, all you have to do is upload it to the degree audit checklist. Your student transfer evaluation, if you have one, it should be uploaded here. If you have not had any college transcripts or community college transcripts or trade school transcripts that you've submitted to U of L, you probably will not have a student transfer evaluation. But if you do have one, it needs to be uploaded here, and I think most of you do. Your transcripts that are the actual academic transcripts should be uploaded in this section. So the student transfer evaluation and the student academic transcripts should be printed as PDF files and uploaded here. Your degree audit checklist, you've already uploaded to Blackboard and you simply upload it here. And now we're going to get to very important parts of the PLAD. Remember, you had one worksheet that listed maybe one or two or a few of your trainings that you wanted to use for your. So for the course assignment, you didn't have to list all of the trainings that you have had over the years. But in this case, if you're going to list the training as for prior learning assessment, that training information has to be here. So you're going to have one long worksheet here if you, depending upon how many courses that you've had as training that you want to use as to request prior learning credit. So for each one of those items in that worksheet, you're going to write an essay. And that's what is uploaded here. So for your training worksheet, remember, it's just a few statements that describes the actual training, the learning that took place in that training. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. So if you've had, you can make one justification essay listing all the training that you've had and writing in the learning about it, or you can simply submit new training evaluation justification essays for each piece of training or for each training that you had. Either way that you want to do it is fine. And most important, again, the supporting documentation. It explains here what the supporting documentation should be, which we've already talked about. So here's where you need to turn in all of the certifications, the training records themselves, all of the information that you need to support the documentation. Because what the instructor does is they start looking at this particular section, looking at all of your training itself from the training worksheet, making sure there are justification essays, and for every training there is a record of that in the supporting documentation. So this part of the evaluation of your PLAD takes quite a while for the instructor, but this is where we have to assure that you have documented correctly the hours of the recommended hours of credit that correspond to the training hours on the worksheet and the supporting documentation. So next we'll go to the experiential learning piece. So this is where you upload the job experiences that you might have had in that worksheet. And then you would write reflection essays, depending upon how many hours you've requested. You would have to write 1 page per credit hour that you've requested in the occupational experience worksheet. And then by the same token, you will have to have the supporting documentation for any job that you have used to request credit hours for prior job experience. And finally, I mentioned previously the last week or so about amending your portfolio. Many of you might have another year or so on your job that you could modify if you're using that job experience for a prior learning assessment. A lot of you might not have had time to go back and get all of your job records, training records, and so this gives you a chance to do that. So you can amend the portfolio, and this file is what you download, and explains how to do that. I recommend that you can only amend your portfolio once. So I would wait a few months, or wait until before a semester before you graduate, so that you have all of that compiled, and then you would go through the process of amending your portfolio if you choose to. So I'll review your PLAD in its entirety, but I have quite a few PLADs to review. I've got 2 different classes that I teach, so there's a lot to review this semester. So you got to be patient. So you're going to have to upload this by the due date, and it's going to take me a couple of 2 or 3 days probably to get through all of the PLADs. But when I finish that, I will notify you individually by email, and then that's when I will post your grade in Blackboard. So we're coming to the end of the semester now. You should be at the point now that you've finished all of your worksheets and essays and so forth, and it's now time to upload these in the proper location of your PLAD.